Okay, so to tidy this sheet up, we're going to use a tool inside the cloth modifier that we never covered the last time, but we need to understand what it is. And it's something called sewing springs. Now to explain it, let me just open a new instance of Blender. And so we start with a new file. Right, okay. Now in this file, if I was to add a plane like our sheet is, and let's just scale this up a little bit. There, alright. Let's bring this across here. And we need to add more geometry, as we always do, because the cloth modifier acts on the edges and vertices, and there simply isn't enough in a plane. So we'll subdivide that. Let's open up my tool shelf, increase the number of cuts to 10, subdivide it again, and actually, I don't think we covered this. Subdivide smooth. If I was to do that, what it does is it kind of brings all these vertices in. It kind of springs them together. Easier to show you. Subdivide smooth. Well, it didn't work on that. Maybe it's the first one. W subdivide smooth. Okay, I'm talking absolute nonsense again. Ignore me. Alright, so we've done a first subdivision, we'll do a second. Well, if you do subdivide smooth to a cube or something, it does weird things. Obviously it doesn't work on a plane. For the purposes, let's just go 4 or 5 cuts. Alright, so that's object mode. I'm going to slide this across, and I'm going to duplicate this on the y-axis. So Shift D, Y, and just drag it across. So effectively we've got 2 pieces of cloth here, but they need to be on the same mesh. You know, these at the minute are different meshes, so I need to join these 2 meshes for this sewing springs to work. So Control J, and now they're all one mesh, which is fine. Let's bring them up in the air a bit. Okay, and what we're going to do, okay, if we make this a cloth, okay, you see we've got this cloth sewing springs, okay, and it's asking for a group here. This little icon always means a vertex group. So best way to explain this, okay, sewing springs works like stitching or sewing. Okay, now if I wanted to stitch these 2 edges together, I would have to add some edges across to act like the thread when you're sewing. So I'll select these 2 edges and I'll press F to make a face, but because there's only 2 I said 2 edges, 2 vertices, because there's only 2 vertices it can't make a face, so it makes an edge. But what we have to do here is we have to make a vertex group. So let's go to the object data, we'll add a vertex group, and I'm going to call this one springs. Okay, so I've got this edge selected and I'll need to assign it to that group. Okay, right, so now if I was to run a cloth animation, this is going to drop through the floor and pull these together. So to stop it dropping through the floor, let's what would show this well? Let's add a cylinder. Let's move it up a bit, move it across a bit, and let's duplicate it on the y-axis, spring one on the other side. So we've got these 2 cylinders. So basically this cloth should drop and drape over the cylinders. So let me just join these 2 cylinders, and in our physics tab we'll make these collisions, something for the cloth to collide against. Okay, so cloth sewing springs. I've made my group called springs, so I'll select that. Now sewing force, it defaults at 0, but you don't want it at 0. The higher the number, the more force pulling these vertices together along this edge. I find for most things about a number of 4 or 5 works well, so somewhere around there. Okay, so let's run this animation and see what happens. I made these collision, yes? Yes I did, okay. So let's run this animation and see what happens. and for some reason, like I said, sometimes this cycles through once and sometimes it doesn't. This time it didn't. Anyway, as this is falling, you can see it's pulling along this spring here. Okay, so it's gonna fall and drape over, but it's stitching together at that point where we define the spring. Okay, and we'll see as it falls and drapes, this doesn't break, it is like a stitch. Okay, so let me pause this. Let's go back to the beginning, select this again, let's add some more springs. Alright, so we've got these. Now they don't have to be in line. I mean, I could pull this one, select this one here, and select one that's off line and force. It's going to cause a wrinkle up here, but that's okay. Let's go back to object data, and we need to assign that to the spring group. Let's do a few more. We'll press the F key, assign it to the spring group. We'll select probably 2 or 3 more just to demonstrate this. Press the F key, assign it to the group, and we'll do one more round about the centre here. Press the F key and assign it to the group. So essentially what we got is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 stitches that's going to pull this cloth together. So let's go back into object mode and we'll run an animation again. Set this back to beginning, which it is, and let's see what happens. Now what I expect is this half to pull together and this half just to drape, because there is no stitch in there. And we'll just watch this as it runs through, and it's doing exactly as I predicted. And as I said, where I put those springs that weren't in line as such, it's creating wrinkles down here. So see, and that is basically what sewing springs are. Let's pause this. Let's go back here, and as you can see, you know, we're getting these wrinkles and a hole here where the stitches weren't in line. But you know, that's okay. I was looking for that randomness. Let's put a smooth shader on this. Okay. Obviously it's leaving holes because our stitches are very far apart, same as it would be in real life. If I put my stitches at every second or third vertex, you know, this would pull together quite nicely. Now this is actually a very useful tool. Sorry, I don't know if you can hear my dog walking across the floor there. Harry, come on, lie down, come on, go on. Good boy, good boy. No, go and lie down. Anyway, you wanted petting. This is a very useful tool. I lost my train of thought there. Especially if you get into making clothes, because what you can do is you can make kind of the panels that make up clothes. I mean, if you look at a shirt or a jacket, it's made up of different pieces of material stitched together. So there he goes again. You stitch the materials, you hang it over the avatar, you do the cloth simulation, and it basically hangs the clothes and fits it to the avatar. But we'll come to that when we start doing rigging and so on. But anyway, so that is basically what the cloth sewing springs are, and we're going to use that on our mattress to kind of tidy that up. And so we're going to pause here, just make sure everyone's got the concept of this, and then we'll come back and finish our mattress.